Hello, guys. How are you today? Welcome back to another edition of Chronic Pain in a Demon. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain. How are you guys this morning? Nice to see you. Nice to see you on board. Um, Fellas, we have a couple of things to talk about this morning. But I want to touch base on certain things we're going to talk about this morning and my experience over the weekend. It was a very treacherous, weekend for me as far as pain is concerned. You know, um, yeah. So it was a very busy weekend for me as pain is concerned. You know, guys, yeah, it was very busy. You know what I mean? I had a very difficult weekend. Um, I tell you guys, it was just unbearable for me, and it was all because of mishandling of my prescriptions, which I'm going to run down to you guys in a few, just to let you know how that went. Because I tell you, they actually they tortured me, man. Yeah, I was tortured. Yeah, I was tortured, guys, and I tell you, it was just it was one of those days, one of those weeks, I should say. You know what I mean? One of those weeks, I should say. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was one of those weeks. You know what I mean? So this week for me was very, very treacherous. The weekend, guys. Sorry about that. I just had to, respond to, via text that I got from one of my subscribers. So yeah, good morning, folks. How are you? Welcome to another edition of Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain, the Inner Demon. You know, um, yes, ladies and gentlemen. I just feel like share what I went through this weekend with you guys, and hopefully that some of you guys could learn from this, or just take it as it is, and make a better way for yourself and better judgments. So yes, folks, good morning again to you. My name is Raymond Nugent, aka Chronic Pain and the Demon, and I'm coming to you live from home. All right, how are you folks doing today? How was your weekend? Let me know if you had a great weekend. Let me know if your weekend was better than mine's, because of course mine's, I had to deal with a lot of different hurdles that I had to, go around as far as pain is concerned. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, it was tough for me. You know, so I hope you guys, had a great time. But my weekend this week, as far as chronic pain is concerned, even though I've been going through this for like so long, over 14 years, but this weekend it was horrendous, and it was all because of me not getting my prescription medication from the pharmacy, because the pharmacy they had some hiccups, the doctor's office and faxing medication, and that's why I want to do this live today to let you guys know and some people to be aware that if you're planning to move to Florida in the future, just make sure you curb your medication prescription. When I say curb them, I mean take care of them, because if you get a prescription in your hand, you can't lose it, because if you lose it, you won't get another one until the following month. So I'm just going to share a little bit of what I went through, and then hopefully I could educate some people, and as far as learning from this. So whenever you come to Florida, if you migrate to Florida, you don't have to go through the same things that I went through. You know, yeah. So my experience for this week, right, chronic pain, like I said, it was very treacherous. It took me to another place where it was pretty dark, but I kind of like figure out my way, how to get out of it, but it wasn't that easy. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't that easy. So I just had to finagle my way, and try to do what I can. Yeah, because I tell you, yeah, it was just one of those days, man. One of those weekends. You heard the song, just one of those days. Yeah, it was one of those weekends for me. And it started Friday. Believe it or not, it started on Friday. Started on Friday, and I was just like, because I had one pill left, and the pills that I take is for my nerves. Because I live with neuropathy, which is something serious, similar to arthritis. Because of all my chronic conditions with the spinal fusions that I've had. So it's still leaving with a lot of chronic pain. So I take Lyrica to alleviate chronic nerve pain. And without the Lyrica, I tell you guys, I could barely walk. That's how serious it is. You see, what happened? I could do without the narcotics and bear that part of the pain because I'm trying to, not to deal with that because I want to have a steady life and I want to be able to focus. You know, yeah, I want to be able to focus. So I try not to, deal with pain medication that I don't have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So I just deal with the ones that really helps me. And yeah, so I went along with the Lyrica for the nerves because I've been using it for quite a while. And the results, the results are there. And I really appreciate what it does for me. So anyway, guys, I was off that medication for a few days, and I'm telling you, anybody who take medication and for a period of time and then are off for a few days, they know what I'm talking about. It is not easy. The withdrawals, um, the things that you feel in your body, um, your mental state, you know, um, all those things, take into consideration is just out of whack, when you're off certain medication that, you've been living on for like, numerous years, like myself, which I said it's over 14 years for me. So, yeah, after 14 years of taking medication and then, pharmacy and doctors, they have their mishaps, you as a patient, you're going to feel the blunt of it. So, this is one of the reasons why I'm bringing this live on today because, I want people to, know and be aware, and also be mindful that if you're moving to Florida, make sure you find you a good, pain doctor. If you're a person that deals with chronic pain, make sure you find you a good, stable pain doctor that could deal with you. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, because some of these guys here they used to have pain clinics, and they have to be shut down because the government saw that they were really like out of whack with the way they dispersing these pills because some people did it for greed, not for helping patients, and they went out of business, and the state had to change their rules and regulations as how they disperse medication, especially opioids, because opioid was a big, big, big thing in America, as far as especially in Florida, and it's still big around America because a lot of people overdose from opioids. You see what I'm saying? So with all of that, the government they had to figure out a way how to curb, the opioid epidemic. So that was one of the way where they had to get rid of some of the pain clinics, and even people got arrested. Doctors and other people got arrested because they abused it so much, and it makes it bad for a real patient like myself. You see what I'm saying? I live with chronic pain because of my condition that I explained in other videos of how I feel, because I live with a lot of hardware inside of me. You know what I mean? So, oh yeah, so I live with a lot of chronic pain, and without the medication, the body is just out of whack. So I have to try to learn how to finagle and get my way back into it. But I tell you guys, this weekend, no matter what I did, I was down for the count. When I said down for the count, I was down for the count. I tried to walk a little bit. I couldn't even go down the stairs. I just walk the hallway, and try to feel a little bit better. The same things I explained to you guys to do, I did. But the thing was, it was a little bit different for me because I was off my medication. So I also have extra internal feeling that I had to deal with. The withdrawals, the way I felt. It was just like you feel that um, your body just start getting so hot, like then you get so hot that it's just a miserable kind of hot, like hot flashes. You get hot and then you get cold, where you get the chills, like a few minutes later. So you just coming from hot to cold, from hot to cold. And then the nausea, that comes on. So there's a lot to bear. You're dealing with the extra pain, you're dealing with the nausea, and you're dealing with the the fluctuation of how you feel, hot versus cold. You see what I'm saying? So all weekend, that's what I had to deal with, and it was very, very treacherous for me because it doesn't help me to concentrate the way I want to concentrate, and I don't like that because I'm a person like this. I like to concentrate, So that kind of took me out of my you know out of my era that I was in. You know what I mean? As far as doing my thing, and just just pretty much go to my day to day routine. my walking, my exercise, et cetera, et cetera. Those things were hectic for me over the weekend, and it bothers me because I tell you guys, anytime I can't do nothing, it really, really bothers me. Because I just feel like, I'm saying, you just feel this kind of, you know, um, overwhelming burden on you that, come on, man, I've been fighting all my life. What's going on? What went wrong? So yes, so I've been fighting this demon for so long, but yesterday and the day before and the day before, they were just like some really bad days for me, really bad days. You see what I'm saying? And I had to this morning, I had my doctor's appointment, and I actually had to tell my doctor how I felt. I told the nurses how I felt because you know what? I left them messages and no one returned my messages. They're saying to you, leave a message, and I will return a phone call. No message came back to me. I've been waiting, Thursday, Friday, no messages, guys. I was really, really down for it, and I was actually going to go to the emergency room, and I tried to bear it, and finally yesterday, I called my primary care doctors. I told her what I was going through. She understood and she understand my situation because I've been dealing with her for quite a while. She said, Raymond, I'm booked for the day, but I want you to come in. And they gave me a one of those televised appointment where you speak to the doctor via through your computer or your phone or whatever. And I got my appointment, and then she said to me, "Come on in and pick up your prescription at the front desk," because she know what I'm going through, And she said to me, "Anytime you ever have this kind of problem, and there's any kind of hiccups with your medication, just come in and let us know." And I said, "Okay, doc, no problem." But then she said to me, "Raymond, this has been going on in Florida for quite a while because of the epidemic and the pandemic with the opioid. You know what I'm saying? How people abuse it. A lot of people died from overdose, to opioid in Florida. So of course they had to make some adjustments, in the law. And but the adjustments that they made caused patients like myself, to suffer, because of people that misuse the medication. You see what I'm saying? So yes, guys. So anyway, when I saw my doctor last month, they said they faxed um, my two prescriptions that I really needed to the pharmacy, right? So the pharmacy, they text me a few days and said they didn't receive my prescription. So I text them back, and I called the doctor, and I just let them know that the pharmacy, still, in search of the prescription. So I gave them enough time to figure it out, So the pharmacy kept texting and I kept calling. But I understand that the pharmacy is busy because of what's going on right now, and everything is just pretty much backed up, or and how things are, which I totally understand. So I drove to the pharmacy, and I went inside, and I spoke to the lady. She actually showed me the paper and said, Raymond, we went waiting for your doctor to fax your next prescription because we only have one filled, and I know the other one is not filled because we didn't receive the prescription. I was like, wow, and I said to her, hmm, that really doesn't make any sense for them just to fax one prescription and forget the other. So anyway, accidents do happen. So I just like, all right, I'll give them a call. I called my doctor's office. It was like about 12:30 that day when I called them. I got a message on their machine that says, we're busy, but we'll return your call um, as soon as possible. But if you call after 3 o'clock, then your call will be returned the following day. You see what I'm saying? So I called them way before 3 o'clock. All right. No return phone calls. Right. I called them back again on Friday. Actually on Thursday. I called them back on Thursday because I've been calling them since Wednesday. And Thursday they told me that my doctor is not in that office anymore, the one that I normally go to, which is in Daytona. So I was like, I wasn't even aware of that. They said he moved to New Smyrna Beach. You know, And I was like, okay. So I was like, so how am I going to get my prescription? Then she said, I'm going to transfer you to New Smyrna Beach, where they could deal with that. I was like, okay, ma'am, no problem, because there's nothing else I could do. So I was like, fine, you know. So they transfer my she transferred me to the office in New Smyrna Beach. I spoke to the young lady. I let her know what's going on, and she assured me that they're going to get back to me before the end of the day. Of course, I felt like, everything was going up to par, and they understood me, and things was going to work out. So looking at the clock and the pain that I was in, I'm like, okay, the day's almost over. No phone call, right? The day went over, no phone call. All right. I called him back on Friday. You know, I left two more messages, still no phone call, you know, and I was in excruciating pain, guys. I'm telling you, because I did a couple of silent LS this week, and I had to do them because the pain scale I was in, I couldn't face you guys, in front of the camera because it was that obvious. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I took it down this weekend, and I rest myself. I feel a little bit better today because like I said, my primary care doctors, they gave me a few of those pills to hold me over, and that's what get me back to where I'm at today. It took about 2 hours for that thing to work inside my body so I could feel, the way I normally feel, which still live with pain, but it's dull enough where I could deal with it and move around. You know what I mean? And also able to concentrate. Because I tell you, when your pain scale raised, it's hard for you to concentrate, guys. And I'm telling you from experience. Pain scale doesn't make you concentrate that much. It puts you in a mood where you just, you think about it, and you say, you just like keep saying to yourself, what's going on, well, even though you know what's going on, you know what I mean. But it's just the mood that it puts you in. Makes you question yourself. You see what I'm saying? And I had to come back to terms with myself and say, you know what, Ray, I felt this way before, so just take it down and do the best you can, and then just stay humble. You know what I mean? And that's what I did. Um, Saturday was my granddaughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Gabby. And I want to say hi to my other granddaughter, Aria. Aria, how are you? Grandpa missed you, and I'll see you soon. All right. So don't worry, Aria. Grandpa will see you soon. All right. And Gabby, hey, my other granddaughter, she turned 3 years old this past weekend, Saturday. Hey, happy birthday, Gabby. Hey, Aria, I'll see you later, baby. All right, guys, let's get back to the show. You know what I mean? I just have to say hello to my two granddaughters, because they are my beauty. So yes, guys, like I said, they you know, they took my messages, didn't return the phone calls, and I was just stunned because, I'm like, okay, I followed the procedures, and you guys didn't really, respond to me, so I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? You know what I mean? So over the weekend, I tell you, man, I walk around, you know, I um try to do as much as I could, but focusing, I wasn't really focusing like I wanted to, because I was just so out of whack, and everything I said I could, I did. I just, the only thing I didn't do was go swimming, but I did my stretches, my exercise, and the pain was just even so much more than even what I could do, So I took it down, and so Saturday when I finished, when I went to Gabby, which is next door, they had her little birthday party by her aunt's house, and I went next door, and we all sat and enjoyed the day, which was just, I was only there for like about an hour or so, and we had a great time. But what I'm trying to say, even when I was sitting there with my granddaughter, it was just so hard for me to deal with this because I was just so quiet, and I'm sure everybody was wondering why I was so quiet. But the pain was horrendous. The pain was horrendous. So I just like, I wasn't tense really, but I just like, try to lock myself together where, I just don't want them to see how much pain that I'm going through. You know what I mean? Yes. So the reason why I'm saying this, guys, because any one of you guys plan to move to Florida in the near future, and you're living with chronic pain, just make sure that when it comes down to your prescriptions and your medication, you pay attention to those things, especially in Florida, because the laws here, they changed, and I understand why they changed because Florida, they dealt with a lot of overdose from opioids. You know what I'm saying? Because people misuse their prescription, and they misuse the opioid, and of course, it caused their demise. You know what I mean? So that's what it does to you if you misuse those things. And when you misuse them, and it gets to a point where the government has to step in and make some kind of rules and regulation and certain adjustments, then it affects the real patients like myself, just like what I went through this weekend. You see what I'm saying? Because I know that the policy of the doctors, they claim they fax a prescription. They're not going to do another one unless they could trace the other one and see where it went. That's if they're doing their homework. All right. So anyway, like I said, I left numerous messages and no one responded to me. So Saturday, Sunday, I was just like so out of whack. I was on the couch just laying there, just feeling like a couch potato because I couldn't move around. And I like to move around. If it's even just walk, I like to walk. I like to do something. You know what I mean? I like to have a progressive day. You know what I'm saying? So when I couldn't even work on my YouTube stuff and everything, man, I was just like, wow, I can't even sit here and just work on my channel. So I was like, man, this is just too much. You know, I've been going through this for so long, and this is just too much. Yeah, this is just too much. Yeah, too much. Yeah, man, too much. But guys, I tell you, so I found certain little things to watch on TV, and I tell you, you know what I turn on my television this weekend just to get a little bit of laugh, to get out of the funk I was in. I started watching the Three Stooges. Remember the Three Stooges? Yeah, I started watching the Three Stooges, and that's what really kind of get my focus out of the mental stage I was in this weekend, because I just couldn't focus because the pain just kind of blocked my the way I want to focus. I was just like, wow, walking around, and I felt like I was walking in pins and needles, because that's what the nerve pain does to you. It's like you're walking in pins and needles, because your feet, it's like stuff sticking in the bottom of your feet, and that's how you have to walk around. You know what I mean? So yes, guys, it was very dangerous for me. And anyone that's been on medication and they're off their meds, for a while, they know how it makes them feel, physically and mentally. So I'm saying, especially if you're dealing with for like a period of time, like myself. It's over 14 years for me, stuff going inside my body, and then after do without it for a while, it's just not going to work that way. You see what I'm saying? Because that's not the way the body functions. Because once the body's used to certain things like that, and it doesn't have it inside, then it's going to operate differently. And that's what happens to me. And that's why this weekend was so bad for me. And it happens before. And I told my doctor, the same pain, my same pain management doctor that I have, and he had assured me that, Raymond, if it happens again, call the office and we'll take care of it, which I did. But sometimes you just have some nurses that either they're overwhelmed with their job or they're not happy that day, and the patient just be the blunt of it. That's just what I could summarize from that, because I follow all the protocols. I leave the messages. I leave them at the appropriate time, and then they didn't respond to me. You see what I'm saying? So now you tell me, after all these years, we go into doctors' offices, because remember, number one, when you get to the office, you have to sit there and you have to wait, and then when they call your name, you go up there, you go into the room, the nurse comes in, take your vitals, your blood pressure, stuff like that. You wait, and then she said, wait for the doctor. So now in that waiting area again, you wait again. So if you look at it, when you go to see the doctor, you spend actually about 2 hours. You're just waiting, and then the doctor come in there for what? 30 seconds, right? 30 seconds. How are you, Mr. Nugent? Mr. Nugent, how was your day? How you feeling? It's the same old stuff? Yes, doc. And move on to the next patient. But you have to wait 2 hours for that, sometimes three. And that's not right for the patient, because, when we're in certain condition, you don't want to be in certain places just waiting forever, while people run around doing their rounds and doing what they have to do, and then the patient have to suffer the blunt of it. No, that's not the way it's supposed to work. I think the patient should have some rights, where, they have some say so. You know what I mean? And when you're going to have, these nurses doing what they're doing and just being slack on their job, and you have to feel the blunt of it, I don't think that's fair to the patients. You know what I mean? And that's tardiness. So this morning I had to let her know, the nurse, that what they did over the weekend and over the course of the past few days was very tardy and unacceptable. And I let her know, I've been dealing with your doctor now for over 5 years, and actually 7 years, and it's not tolerated. You know what I mean? And I told the doctor the same thing. I said, Doc, I've been with you for quite a while, and this past week was very treacherous, and it's unacceptable. And he assured me that he's going to speak to his staff, and it won't happen again. I said, thank you, sir, no problem, But you see, that's the thing, guys. You have to nip it in the butt, because if you don't, it's going to keep happening to you, and you're going to keep suffering. You know, I've suffered already, and I suffered this past weekend. So I think I did enough suffering without my medication, where which is other people's tardiness. You see what I'm saying? So yes, I had to let it be known. You know, and when they called me this morning, I let it be known again. You know that because you know why, guys? I'm not even gonna lie to you. The way it makes you feel when you're off your medication is like you could just walk in front of a train. I don't even care if it hits you. That's how you feel. The nausea, the all the side effects that you're going through, you know what I mean? And the mental state, it just make you feel like you want to walk in front of a train, and just say to hell with it. You know what I mean? Because no matter how you try, it's just that you're not getting no form of alleviation. And I don't think anybody should live that way. You see what I'm saying? No, nobody should ever live that way. And these nurses, they know that they're dealing with patients that have spinal fusions. They should have better moral sense. You know what I'm saying? Better moral sense. To say, okay, let me make sure I take care of this or take care of that. You know what I mean? Instead of just like putting you on hold or bouncing you around from one to the next. You know what I mean? Because the doctors, they get their money off the top. You know? So why we have to suffer? We're the consumer. We are paying them. Why we have to go through all that stuff? You know what I mean? Why do we? And this morning I'm venting. Yes, guys, I'm venting this morning. Because you know what? That shouldn't have happened to me. I don't want to happen to nobody else. None of my friends that are on this YouTube channel that are going through chronic pain. Nobody that's going through chronic pain, because I tell you guys, it wasn't easy this weekend. It just brought me back to where, like, years ago. You know what I mean? Things that I escaped from. Feelings that I escaped from. It kind of brought me back to those kind of feelings. And I didn't like it. I didn't like it. And that's why I'm speaking out this morning, because, guys, make sure you take care of your prescriptions, you take care of your medication, because if you're on meds and it's certain meds that you have to live on, just be careful how you deal with that. Make sure you have your meds to take, because if you don't have them and then you have to deal with, what you have to deal with, it's not easy. It's not easy. You know what I'm saying? So yes, and nobody want to take the blame, because CVS said they didn't get it. The doctor's office said they faxed it. Thank God they didn't put it in my hand, because you know what they would say? Mr. Nugent, you misplaced it. That's what they would have said. Mr. Nugent, you misplaced it. Because nobody want to take no blame. Why they don't want to take the blame? Nobody want to take the blame. CVS said I didn't receive it. The doctor said they faxed it. Okay, they faxed 2 prescriptions, and CVS only got 1. How ironic is that? You claim you faxed 2 and they only got 1. And this is not the first time it happens. It happened before. So I really think it's coming from the doctor's office. I don't think it's CVS. You see what I'm saying? Or unless it goes to CVS, because if it comes to you in your computer, so you can't destroy it. Or, well, if they fax it to you, then it's paper. So yeah, you can. My bad. Yeah. So that's what I had to go through this weekend, guys, and since Friday, and I tell you, since Thursday, and it wasn't pretty. So my thing is, guys, if you come to Florida and you're in chronic conditions, make sure you check out, the laws, the rules, the regulations, because when I had just moved here 7 years ago, there was a numerous amount of pain clinics that was around Florida, that people from all over America, they were just driving to Florida, buying their pain medication. People who used to live on it and abuse it. Florida was a gateway for that. Years ago. You know what I mean? And so the overdose rate was so high. They had the CDC and the government. They had to find a way how to curb it, which you can't blame them, because what you're doing is trying to prevent deaths, which is the right thing to do. you know. But what I'm saying is that because of that, patients like myself, we have to suffer when it comes on to, your prescriptions and how they handle it when it's being mishandled. You have to suffer. I have to suffer. You know what I mean? Because either they say they don't believe you, which they can't, because you know what I mean? They fax it to the pharmacy. You didn't give it to me in my hand. Yeah. But if they had gave it to me, they'd have said to me, Mr. Ninja, you misplaced it, even if I had brought it to the pharmacy. You see what I'm saying? Because nobody wanted to take the blame. Let's push it off on the consumer. Let's push it off on the patient. They'll get over it. No, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. We're human beings just like anybody else. We have feelings. We have emotions. You see what I'm saying? So when we come to you guys' offices, man, don't take us for granted, you know, because we come there as a patient and we come to you guys, truthfully, honestly, respectfully, and just treat us the same way. You know what I mean? Treat a patient the way you'd like to be treated if you are a patient. You know what I mean? Just don't treat them like they're a number or you don't care, because that doesn't really sum it up for you. Because people could move on to different doctors. You know, people could move on. It all depends on how you treat them. You know what I mean? Yeah. So this weekend was just not nice, and I had to let it be known. I had to let it be known, because if you keep letting these things slide, then continuously they'll keep happening. You see what I'm saying? So I had to, you know. So guys, if you have to deal with your doctors, nurses, don't be afraid to talk to them. Don't be afraid to let them know how you feel. You know what I mean? As long as you're doing it respectfully, don't be afraid. You know what I mean? Because that's what in their mind. Oh, he's not going to respond to me. Oh, she's not going to respond to me. No, speak to them. Let them know how you feel. Because some of them act like they don't even have time for you. They have time to collect your money, yes, but they don't have time for you just for 2 words. You see what I'm saying? They don't have time to hold just a simple conversation. You know, the bedside manners is just not there. So why get into that field then? If you don't know how to deal with people, why get into that field? You understand me? Why get into that field then? If you want, you're gonna let patients suffer. Do something else then. If you come to work and you're mad at what you're doing, find something else to do. You know what I'm saying? Find something else to do. Find something else to do. You see what I'm saying? Find something else to do. Yeah, because you can't just take people for granted like that. You can't. Because it's not the right thing to do. You know, not the right thing to do, because you don't know what a person's feeling internally. You see what I'm saying? And if a person comes to you and I'm letting you know, listen, man, this is hard to deal with, and I can't tolerate it, and you are the people that they're seeing for their treatments. Just treat them accordingly, man, because they're telling you what they're telling you. You see what I'm saying? I understand if you're of abusers of certain medication. Of course, you have to question that. You know, because the evidence have to be there. You know what I mean? Yeah. But you're dealing with people that doesn't really abuse. You're dealing with people that try to get away from all of that nonsense and just use what's worked for them. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Because I could have been one of those person out there that said, "Yeah, and try to abuse." No, because you know why? I'm not trying to get kill myself. Number one, I don't want nobody to find me in my bed dead from some no damn overdose or anything like that. No, you understand me? So I'm not into that type of stuff. I just use what works for me. And minimize it when I can. And then if I could get rid of it, get rid of it. Because guys, I've been on so much high medications in my life that it kind of turned me into a zombie. That's in my early stage when I was going through all it. They were cutting me up and doing all the spinal fusions and putting all those kind of rods and plates inside of my back. Yes, guys, I've been through all of that already. You know what I mean? And then I still have to live with the chronic conditions for the rest of my life. You see what I'm saying? But even though I still thank God, I'm still here. I'm walking. I'm talking to you guys. I woke up this morning. It's a blessing. I thank God. You see what I'm saying? That's why we have to deal with people respectfully. Each one teach one, and we just move on with our lives, because you know what? Life goes on. Life goes on. You see what I'm saying? So even though my doctor's office, they were very tardy this weekend, very tardy this week. Life goes on. Today is another day. I'm just going to talk about it now, but I'm not going to let it ruin my day. No, I'm here talking about it, let people aware of how things run in Florida. So if you do have to relocate to Florida, make sure you know your prescriptions. You keep them in check. Don't lose them. Don't misplace them. Don't give them to no one to hold, because you're not going to get another one until the next month. That's how Florida works. If you come to Florida and your doctor gives you a written prescription and you misplace one until the following month, it doesn't matter how much pain you're in. That's how Florida works. But listen to this now. They misplaced my prescription, and then I still have to suffer. And I still have to go through all of that stuff. You see what I'm saying? So no, they don't want to take the blame, but they'll blame you and I if we misplace it, and then we'll bear the blunt of the punishment. But if they misplaced or they didn't fax or whatever, we still bear the blunt, and we're paying them. This is ludicrous. Yeah, ludicrous, man. You know, these things have to stop. Oh yeah, have to stop, guys. Nurses, doctors, pay more attention to your patients. You know, not just for the dollar sign. Pay more attention to your patients. Just remember, your patients are the one that make you live in a mansion if you live in a mansion. Your patients are the one that make you drive a Rolls Royce if you drive a Rolls Royce. So pay a little bit of attention to them, because you know what? They make you have the quality of life that you have. So let them try to have the quality of life that they could have as well. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, you know, nurses, straighten up, man. You know, learn how to communicate with your patients better. Learn how to communicate better, doctors, with your patients. The ones that don't, nurses that don't. Learn how to communicate with your patients better. You know, don't just look at people with a sour face when they walk into the office and talk to them in a way you feel like it. That's not the way you're supposed to go. You know, and we need to talk about these doctor's appointments more, because the waiting period in these doctor's office is ridiculous. And these things need to be cut down, minimized. Because, doc, you're not paying me for my time. Just remember that, okay? You are not paying me to wait on you. I am paying your ass to wait on you. And still you have to go through the nonsense? That is ludicrous. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. These things have to stop. Have to stop. You guys have to take patients' interests more at heart. Don't pity me. I don't need your pity. Just take my interest at heart. Okay? And just be mindful, because you never know if and when you're going to be a patient as well. So treat people the way you would like to be treated. You understand me? Because in life, none of us don't know. I didn't know I was going to be a patient. I didn't know I was going to be in this situation. If you had asked me 20 years ago, hey, Ray, you think you're going to be where you at right now? I'd be like, hell no. I'd be like, no way. Not Ray. I'm all fit and, whatever. No, not me. Hey, look at me now. I thank God for my life. But I'm just saying, who knows? You know what I mean? Who knows? What tomorrow may bring. None of us. That's why we have to enjoy today. You know what I mean? We have to enjoy today, because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring us. You see what I'm saying? And I tell you guys, it's just a learning experience for me. I thought I already learned enough, but I am still learning as I go. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I've been through this thing for so long. I thought I already have everything down pat, but you have to understand, every state you go, their regulation is different. Their rules are different. You have to learn their rules and regulation, and try to comply. And whenever you comply and it doesn't really work for you, don't hold it in. Let them know, because you know why? They set the rules. They set the regulation. And as long as we're complying and you're not, coming back at me with nothing, I am going to say something to you, because I'm following the rules and regulation. I'm following what you say I'm supposed to follow. Okay? So please respond back to me, because I do what what you told me to do. All right? As a patient. You know what I mean? Because this past weekend, doc and nurse, you didn't know what this could have driven me to do as a patient without my medication. You know, like I said, I felt like I could have walked in front of a train, or I could have went out there and do something stupid. You know what I mean? Because I'm not on my meds. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm gonna be like, oh man, because I didn't have my medication, blah blah blah. No, I'm gonna bear the blunt of it, and I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna lay on my couch, and then whenever I see you guys again, I'm gonna let you hear it. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 kids and I have 2 grandkids to live for. You know what I mean? Yeah. So nothing stupid coming from this guy. But as soon as you guys, mess up and you deal with your tardiness like you did this week, I am going to let you know in a respectful way. In a respectful way. Treat people the way you'd like to be treated. Doctors, nurses. Because when you go into med school, you hear they tell you about bedside manners. That's important. That's how you gain patience. Because the patient's going to tell another patient about, oh, my doctor have a good bedside manners. My doctor, he talks to me. My doctor, they pay attention to me. My doctor asks questions. I could ask them questions. That's how your reputation build and go around. Because you know what? My mom might like you. Then she tell her friend that you're great. Then her friend tell her another friend that you're beautiful. Then next thing you know, you have your entire friends as your patients, because you know why? You treat people the way they're supposed to be treated. You see what I'm saying? So that could also help build your network bigger. You know what I mean? When I said bigger, I mean bigger. In any community, if it's the Hispanic community, the Black community, the white, any community, it could help you to build your platform bigger, because you know why? Word of mouth is more convincing than just seeing certain things on, television or whatever the case may be. No, the word of mouth, because people experience it, others are going to believe it more. It's going to be more believable. You know what I'm saying? Because, for example, if I go to my doctor and she checked me thoroughly, and you come to me and say, "Hey Ray, how was your doctor?" I'm like, "Man, she's very good, man. She checked all my vitals. She pay attention to me. She spent time just make sure I'm okay. I could ask her questions." Those are the things patients like to hear, because it makes you feel more at ease. Because some of us patients, I'm not saying we're afraid of the doctors, but some patients are afraid to speak up to doctors. Don't be afraid. They're just a human being just like you. They might move faster than you, but don't be afraid. They might have a little bit more education than you, but don't be afraid. You see what I'm saying? Speak to them respectfully and get your answers that you deserve, because you're paying them. And then you have to wait on them at the same time. So, goddamn, they should be able to give you at least 2, 3 minutes of their time. If you're waiting 2 hours just to see them for like 30 seconds. So that's why I wanted to do a live today. I was going to do it at midday, but I said, you know what? Let me change this live, and do it earlier, because I don't want anything to happen and then I have to run out the house and, forget about doing this live. Because this live is very important. Because you know why? I'm going to explain to you. Let me get another cup of my coffee. Let me tell you why this live is so important, guys. Especially for men. Men really doesn't like to go to the doctor, number one. Men doesn't really speak up, number two. And guys, don't be afraid to go to the doctor, number one. Number two, don't be afraid to speak up. Okay? Don't be afraid to speak up, because that's what they want. All right? They want for you not to say anything, so it's easier for them to just like walk in and walk out. It's like, ignoring. Yeah, there's walk in and walk out. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So don't be afraid to speak up to them, man, because we're all human beings. You know what I mean? And yes, doc, you're getting paid, so I should be able to ask a question. Because hey, I just want to know what's going on with me, and as long as you could explain and I understand, it makes me feel better mentally and probably physically, doc. So yes, your words are very encouraging. you know? So speak to us. If it's even for like 30 seconds or if it's even for a minute, you know? Don't just walk in and walk out. Hey, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. And then you walk right out. And you bill me. I wait 2.5 hours just for that. Oh boy. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, talk about waiting to spend your money. That's what you do when you go to the doctor's office. You wait to spend your money, you know? And don't get me wrong, guys, there are very good doctors out there, with good bedside manners because I've met some of them. I have a friend, my doctor friend in New Jersey. He was my internal specialist. One of the nicest men I've ever met. When I said a nice doctor. That he and I talk one on one when I go to his office. Sometimes he talked to me for a half hour. I'm sitting there like, Doc, you ain't got no other patients to deal with? He said, yes, but you know what? You're here. I'm giving you my time. And, the same way I do all my patients. I was like, wow, yeah. And he became my internal doctor, my primary care, for numerous years until I came to Florida. Hmm. I couldn't give that up. I couldn't let that go because he made me feel at ease. I could ask any questions. You know, he make reference and referrals. Even when I was younger and I said I was too young, to have the colonoscopy and all those type of things. My doctor would, or what's that prostate, exam or whatever. When I was like early 30s, like 31, my doctor was like, "Listen, Raymond, if you want to have that now, we could do it. You know, once you pass 30, Raymond, you could do all those things just to keep your body in line, so you know that you're okay. Don't wait until you reach 50, 60, then you start, doing those things. Start from now, so at least we know what's going on with you, further up. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. He gave me all those examinations, make sure I was okay. No, that's what a doctor does. Yeah. He makes sure I'm okay. And if he can't do those things, he gave me the referral and sent me out to get it done, where he could see the results and make sure that his patient is okay. No, that's amazing to me. That man is beautiful. That's a beautiful doctor to me, inside, Yeah. He find the time to do what? Spent with his patient. This man knows bedside manners. And you know what? At the time, I recommended my mother-in-law to him at the time. I recommend so many people to him at the time, because of the way he treated me. I recommend so many people to that doctor. And they're still there with him, you know, as an internal, doctor, the primary care. They're still with him because they were like, Ray, where did you find this guy? But funny enough, we work at the same hospital. So I used to see him every day. So before I became one of his patients, we were more on a hello, how are you doing, type of relationship, you know? And then when I found out, who he was and I checked the credentials and I realized, he's a very, very good doctor. So that's when I, decided to go with him, you know? And I tell you, I have no regrets. You know what I mean? No regrets because that was beautiful. And since I came to Florida, my primary care doctor here is very good too. Not as good as Dr. Woodham, but she's very good because she's the one that helped me out this past week, yesterday, with the medication that I'm telling you guys about. She's the one that helped me out. You know what I mean? Yeah. So she said to me, Raymond, anytime you're feeling like this and you have this kind of situation, comes to the office. And she's also the one that let me know that, Raymond, in Florida, when people fax medication, and if it goes to the pharmacy and they can't find it, and if the pharmacy calls the doctor's office to get another one, sometimes the doctor is not there, Raymond. The prescription have to be signed by the doctor. So if the doctor is not in the office, then but listen, if the nurses had called me and said, Mr. Nugent, we're trying to track down Dr. Lee just to sign a prescription for you so we could fax it. Those are communication. Those are the words that I could go by. I said, okay, at least they're working, trying to find the doctor, to get the prescriptions going. You know what I mean? So those are the things that I looked at And I'm like, okay, all right, that's just the way you're supposed to deal with patients, you know. So yes, guys. So that was the highlight of my weekend, as far as chronic pain is concerned. Like I said, it was very treacherous for me, and I managed some way how to, get out of it, but it wasn't no easy task for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't easy at all. I jumped through hoops on this one this weekend because I tell you, I tried to do everything I could to alleviate the pain, and it just wasn't working out. But I knew the reason why I felt that way is because of my medication that I'm off, and the tardiness of the doctor's office and also the pharmacy, that I had to go through that. So, guys, if you move to Florida, make sure, especially if you're getting narcotics or whatever you're getting, for your treatment, make sure you keep your prescriptions. Make sure you pay attention to your medication. Make sure you pay attention to the way if they're faxing it or if they're giving it to your hand. You see what I'm saying? Because once they claim it goes to the machine, they don't care anymore. You know what I mean? And then if it's misplaced or God knows what might happen, who knows? Maybe the fax machine didn't even have no paper in it. You know what I mean? But they don't care. You know, you still have to bear the brunt of it because that's what I had. That's what happened to me this weekend. Since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yesterday, Monday, I had to call up my primary care because I couldn't take it anymore. You know, I don't think I could manage another day like that. So as soon as I called her, and she just tell me to come in because she know what I'm going through. You know, and I just did the telephone interview, not interview, the telephone appointment, and she said to me, Raymond, um, because I asked her, I said, could you fax it to the pharmacy doc? She said no. She said, come in and pick this one up because what you explained to me, I've seen a lot of patients went through that where their prescription get faxed to the pharmacy and got misplaced, and then the patients have to suffer the blunt. So she said, come on in and pick it up at the front desk. I tell you guys, driving there, it's not far, it's like 10 minutes away. But just to put my foot on the pedal of the gas and the brakes, oh my goodness, I tell you, yeah, it wasn't easy. And then I got the prescription, went to CVS. Even though they know what happened to the last prescription, right? I was in so much pain. So when I got to CVS yesterday, and I handed the lady my prescription, she said to me, "It's going to be an hour." I said, "Ma'am, no problem. I'll sit and wait." She said, "Well, okay, it's not going to be done within. It's going to be done, within an hour or so." But guess what happened? There's only two people in the pharmacy that was picking up stuff. It was myself and another gentleman that was his father was getting a flu shot. So I'm saying to myself, "Oh wow, how is this going to take an hour when there's only two people here?" But I was just saying that to myself. So because I'm in so much pain, I just started to looking at my phone just to like get this thing out of my head. So I just started to looking at my phone and just to sidetrack what's going on in my body. And when she gave the gentleman the flu shot, like 2 minutes later, she called my name. I was stunned. I was like, "Hello?" I was like, "You talking to me?" She said, "Yes." Within 5 minutes, she had my prescription ready. So if I didn't wait, then I would have to come back the next hour. But because she saw me sat there and wait, and I told her I was in a lot of pain, but I didn't explain. I said, "Ma'am, I don't feel well, so I'd rather sit here and wait, because I just can't move around too much." Within 5 minutes, I got my prescription filled. And guys, let me tell you, as soon as I walk out there, because I had a bottle of water in the car, I took one of those jokers and came home. I sat here, I think I had a bottle of water, grabbed something to eat, and I think within an hour or so, I started feeling a little bit better. But I tell you, this weekend was just treacherous, man. Treacherous, 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 treacherous. I tell you. And so if you happens to come to Florida, and like I said, you have to go through any kind of pain management. Just be careful and be aware because the laws there are different. Very very different. Yeah, very very different. You know. Yep, very very different. Yep. I tell you, man. I looked at you know the rules here with medication, and I do understand why they have to do what they have to do, because numerous people, numerous people, I'm talking about weekly, you know, OD'd, especially those party, little young party people and stuff like that. And I'm saying to myself, why you want to take this thing like a party drug? It's not a party drug. It's for people, you know, what's going on? Because if I could take one and I'm a grown guy and it make me feel like God knows what, that's why I don't take those things. And it's been years now since I haven't taken those things. I'm like, well, these young people want to take stuff like that. How could they function? You know, like, come on, man. I tell you, man, not easy. It's not easy. It wasn't easy for me this weekend. You know, it wasn't easy. You see what I'm saying? So, whenever you come this direction, if you have to live here or something, just make sure, you know, and if you're going through chronic illness and you have to depend on medication, just make sure you take care of your prescriptions. Make sure you know where they're at all times. Try not to lose them because you won't get another one until the following month, you know, and try to stay on top of your doctor as far as, you know, how they operate, his staff, himself, because that's very important. You know, that's what's going to put you at ease as a patient. You see what I'm saying? Because if you can't talk to your doctor or your nurse and you just go there and sit there, you know, it's like you're going to feel like, why am I here? Or you're just going to feel out of place. You have to be able to have some kind of communication, not constantly, but you know what I'm saying? You know, so you could explain yourself, you know? Yeah. Because without me explaining myself, how are you going to understand me? You see what I'm saying? But half of the time they don't give you the chance to explain because they're just cut and run, cut and run, cut and run. You know? No. And you bill me for the same amount of money all the time. You've got to stop this, man. You know, treat patients better. Treat people like they're people. Treat them like someone like yourself. Okay? And for the nurses, be more mindful, more respectful. Not all y'all, but you know, the ones who are just, I don't know, but listen, be more mindful, be more respectful, because you never know if and when you're going to become a patient. You see what I'm saying? Never know. So be mindful, be respectful. For all my people out there that's going through chronic pain, Raymond Nugent coming to you. I do understand you 100% because, you know, I live the same way. And I hope, you know, you guys find some kind of way to alleviate your pain over the weekend. I hope you guys are doing better this week. I hope you guys are feeling better. You know, guys, like I said, I'm here and I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere. So, guys, I'm always going to be with you, my friends in chronic pain, and all my other supporters out there. I really, really thank you. All my listeners to my live today, I really thank you. You know, all the people in the chat room today, I really thank you. All my listeners around the world, in the Philippines, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, Africa, I thank you. Thank you for your support. Family members, I thank you as well because you guys keep me going. You know, good friends, good family, good relations, good relationships keep you going, make you stronger, and help you to focus better. Each one teach one. Okay? And before I go, like I always say, who feels it knows it. You know what I mean? Who feels it knows it. All right? So let's try to do a little bit better because yes, we can. We can. And for the youngsters out there, don't forget, election is coming up. Make sure you vote. because we need your vote. We need your voice because your voice will be heard. Peace.